Welcome Gemini and Gemini cross watchers to your singles and new love reading for October 2023. So from this deck, we're going to get where you are and where you're headed. And then from this deck, we're going to get the next love interest for Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and that will be time-stamped in the description box below. So, of course, thank you for stopping by my channel. We have the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Cups here. Gemini, I almost want to say it feels like you're... I almost said like it feels like you're hiding something. But it feels like, not that you're hiding something to be like, ooh, deceptive and da-da-da-da-da. I feel like there's something here that you're hiding because it's almost on its way out the door. It's like it no longer has an impact on you. It just feels like it's the last few ends that are being tied up. It feels like it's almost like there may be some practical loose ends that you're tying up, but there's no more emotional connection. I feel like whatever this is from the past, it's like you kind of can't get away from it fast enough, is what it feels like. I also feel like whatever this was gave you a very different perspective. I feel like it's put you in an energy where you actually seem to... It feels like you're in an energy where if someone wants to be with you, they'll be with you. If something's going to come to you, it'll come to you, right? It's like the antithesis of chasing energy. Where's Gemini headed? We have the Page of Swords reversed. So the Page of Swords usually talks about the cold, hard truth. But it's reversed, and we have the Eight of Wands, my apologies. So I actually feel like whatever facade you are putting on in terms of like, kind of doesn't necessarily mean you're actually hiding something, but keeping something that's private, right? And so I feel like whatever you have been doing to maintain that, I feel like you have to do it a little bit more because somebody seems to have this expectation that you're going to tell them something. It's almost like maybe they're feeling some sort of energetic disturbance in the force. And it's like this person seems to be someone that is very, very confrontational. It's almost like they're looking for an argument. And I feel like they're going to come up and be like, yeah, what? It just feels like whatever facade you're putting on, that this thing either like doesn't exist or isn't a factor anymore. I feel like this person is going to try to incite other people to make you prove it. Which doesn't really, I don't even know why they would be doing that. So, sorry, there were just, I have the cards, like a few different decks stacked in there, the minis, and there were a couple from the other deck stuck at the back, so. It feels like this situation kind of handles itself if you sit back to a certain extent and let it all play out, right? It's almost like this person may come in and overplay their hand in trying to get you, to fess up to whatever. It's almost like this person wants you to admit that your intent behind something that you did was malicious when it wasn't, right? It's like they're trying to demonize you. They want to paint this picture of you as this terrible person and you had it out for them and you're just a user and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's not the case. And I almost want to say, like, not only is that not the case, but this person acting this way seems to put them... It's like all of their, I don't know how to say this, all of their kind of destructive or toxic traits, it's like everybody can see it, right? It's almost like, well, this person may be wanting to prove that you're the bad guy. I feel like in trying the way they go about doing that actually paints you in a light that it's like people don't really know how you would have dealt with them for that long. It's almost like, oh my gosh, maybe let's say, for example, I'm an outsider. And so it's the outsider looking in saying like, oh, wow, I thought that, it was maybe both of them or whatever. But it's like, but looking at it now and how this person's conducting themselves, it's almost like you'll kind of be painted as the saint in the connection for having conducted yourself as well as you did. And it's like the things that you did that maybe weren't, conducting yourself in the best way, because nobody's perfect, right? It's almost like people are going to look at that and be really understanding and be like, oh, well, yeah, I get why they did that. They must have been, if they were dealing with this for so long. So, it does feel like there's going to be a little bit of turbulence with this person, but rest assured that if you kind of are able to tap into this disconnected emotional energy from this situation and kind of let this person tell on themselves, it actually seems to, it's like everything kind of works out in your favor. So, for those of you, just going to move this up here so we have a bit more space. For those of you with a Gemini Sun, who's the next love interest for Gemini Sun? So we have the Eight of Cups reversed and the Eight of Pentacles upright with the Five of Swords. Just going to put that over there. I feel like this is someone that has recently turned themselves around. It almost looks like it's the same, right? Like they're dressed same, just looks like their hair color is different. Anyway, I feel like there's somebody here that either they've turned themselves around or they seem to be a departure from the type of person that you may usually get involved with, in that I feel like this person is a lot like you. I feel like there's somebody that they don't give people too much attention. I feel like maybe they're an introvert, maybe they're not, but they certainly seem to present with this energy of, they can kind of take it or leave it when it comes to other people. I feel like this person has, out of necessity, learned to cope with loneliness. I mean, that's part of the human experience, right? We all kind of get there. And I feel like there's something here that they are really proud of not giving up on. And it's almost like whenever life kind of comes at them sideways, I feel like they're able to retreat back into that project or that goal, and they just put more energy into it and push it through a little bit faster, right? It's like they've learned to cope that when the world is too much, that they can kind of switch gears and do something else. I feel like this person may have some eccentricities that are a little questionable to you. It feels like they maybe not questionable to you, but I feel like that people will judge this person for them. For example, let's say that obviously you do if you're at a Gemini tarot reading, right? But let's say, for example, this person believes in astrology and you don't. It's like you don't have a problem with them believing that, but you know that other people are going to kind of paint them with a certain brush when they find out that this person believes in astrology. So it's that type of an energy. Obviously won't be actually astrology for everyone, but it's that type of deal, right? It's like people seem to, I almost said people misunderstand this person, but I feel like actually it's that people just don't really know them, right? I gotta get some better lighting in here. I know that's kind of dark. And it's almost like this energy coming from you is, if people really knew this person, they would probably feel differently about it. But I feel like, number one, this person doesn't care. And number two, it's almost like there's something that's, if something transpires between the two of you, especially when it's new, I feel like it's almost like you don't want to expose the connection to other people that may or may not be judgmental of it. It actually feels like like as a kind of protective mechanism to this person. I feel like so it's almost like either this person may be a little bit more sensitive or a little bit more impacted by people's judgment than they would like people to believe, or than even they want to believe. And if that's the case, it's like if someone says something that hits them a little bit hard or kind of cuts them to their core, it's like you know that that's what's happened because they retreat into this workspace sort of thing. So if it isn't that and they genuinely don't care, I actually feel like it's almost like it may just be in your nature to want to protect your person, which is, normal, right? It feels like the connection between the two of you seems to settle into something that you kind of didn't expect. And it feels like it feels like there's a bit of a push-pull dynamic between the two of you. I feel like it's almost like the desire for this person isn't constant, right? I feel like it's almost like they might seem a little bit too lofty, or I feel like they may pursue things in their life that they're not like, drop dead deal breakers, but I feel like they are things that it's not something that this person is doing to actively hurt anybody. It just feels like there's certain things that they do in their life or that they project outwards that it's like there still is this kind of protective instinct that you have towards them. But I feel like you end up looking at them at the end of the day that they're not really like long-term partner. Maybe the potential is there, but it's like there's too much going on with them right now. Doesn't feel like you want to, eject this person from your life or anything. It does feel like there is an attachment there, but not to the extent that, you kind of want them on your arm, so to speak. Okay. So for those of you with your moon in Gemini, moon, 3 8s on the table. So we have the 8 of Wands with the King of Cups. Okay, Gemini with the 4 of Pentacles. Between me, you, and the fence post, okay? I feel like you know that this person is very focused on you. They're quite taken with you, and for some reason you're ignoring them. It's almost like this might not be for everybody. It's like you want them to be the person to approach you. And I feel like it's not so much that like, Gemini is playing a, game or something. I feel more that it's like, while this person's focus may be on you, you're not in a chasing energy. You're not in an energy where you're pursuing anything. So it's like, okay, well, if this person wants me, here I am. Right? It's like either people come to you or kind of, is what it is sort of thing. And I feel like, especially as well, the 9 of Cups up here talks about that energy of feeling like happy and emotionally fulfilled within yourself, right? It's like, it's that moment in time where before, that like happy family, happy life, the 10 of Cups sort of energy, right? So I feel like this person does not feel like they are incredibly demonstrative, right? The King of Cups energy is somebody that is very emotionally stable, and controlled, I feel like this person may be somebody that will, if they're going through a tough time, they just kind of pull back. And I feel like it doesn't feel like there's anything negative about it, or, that it's related to, it's just, that's how they feel it's best for them to cope, right? It feels like they are the kind of person that if something is kind of going left for them, then they deal with it, right? They don't, it's almost like it's second nature for them to deal with it in that way. They've just learned to deal with things on their own. I feel like if the two of you were to get together, it's like the biggest issue between the two of you would be this person kind of talking to you about certain things. It's like they want you to ask them. I'm not so sure that you do, because you're in this energy where, like, well, if somebody wants something, they're gonna, then just tell them. Not that you want to be chased and pursued and all that sort of stuff. But more that people kind of are going to have to at least ask or come to you if they want something. And I feel like this person might be somebody who wants, for whatever reason, okay, I feel like they are very popular in terms of having a lot of options, but they want you. However, it feels like this is the kind of person that if something is wrong, they want someone that's going to go up to them and be like, I know something's wrong, tell me what's wrong. And it doesn't feel like you would have to like pester them about it. It actually feels like this person needs someone to show that they care, even just in asking. It's like when someone asks this person if they're okay, I feel like it feels like such a gift to this person, because they seem to have that energy of the person that if they manage things so well, and when things are tough, they just kind of retreat, they deal with it, and they come back. It's the type of person that people come to and is supportive, but not too many people. I feel like to a certain extent, maybe nobody really looks out for this person and nobody checks in on this person, because that's not the relationship that they have with the world. I feel like they would like to have that with maybe one or two people, like maybe close friend or romantic or something like that. But in the same way that you don't chase anything, this person is kind of in the energy where it's like they're not going to start confiding in people and start talking to people about all of their, deepest desires and most innermost secrets just to do it, because they don't need it. They would like it, they want it, but until the right person comes along that they feel is really trustworthy, I feel like they're not really having it. So we're just going to pull a card for, how does this person, they really want your attention, but it's like they're trying to stare at you long enough for you to see them. Okay. So we already have the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, if you remember, and we just got the Four of Pentacles again. From what I'm seeing, the Four of Pentacles talks about kind of being greedy with your emotions. And I feel like there seems to be something that transpires between the two of you that I feel like this person starts to see that they kind of have to let their guard down a little bit if they want to build, like strong, lasting relationships with other people that are supportive and what they are looking for. It's almost this energy of like they realize that they may need to show other people that they are human, in that, it's not that they have this like facade that everything's perfect, but it's more this person realizes that if they want that type of a relationship, it may not just come up and like, sit in their lap. I feel like they kind of work out this sort of strategy in their mind where it's like there's certain things that they are willing to share almost to like test the waters. There does seem to be, I'm not sure why, I feel like they kind of resent the fact that you're not paying attention to them. It's almost like maybe something almost started, or they feel like they've kind of invested in something between the two of you. They seem to feel like they deserve more from you than they're getting. And it's almost like, and you may be kind of ready to give more to them, but it's like you seem to be making a point of waiting until this person asks. And I feel like, I'm going to be honest, it actually feels like that it actually causes this person's heart to kind of close toward you. So, for those of you, with a Gemini Rising, next love interest for Gemini Rising. So we have the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck with the Wheel of Fortune and Knight of Pentacles. It feels like this is kind of a big deal. It feels like this is someone that, regardless of their tenure in your life or how long they stick around, it feels like this person is kind of like bringing in a new age. It feels like it's almost like someone bursting in the door and bringing a new, hold on for a second. It's like, and they're bringing the party with them type deal. It feels to you that it's like, oh, finally things are turning for me, you know? Hold on for a sec. I feel like there's a certain level of secrecy around this person in that they don't just kind of let it all hang out, right? It's like there's some mystery, some intrigue with them. And I feel like that seems to be something that's really refreshing for you. Especially if you're somebody that when you meet someone, you can see a lot more than, what they're presenting. Like you see more than just face value, if you will, right? So like, even if this person is just talking about something that may be a bit mundane, you're able to see certain parts of their personality by how they move, how they talk, their attitude about what they're talking about. You're able to pick up on a lot more than just understanding what they're saying. And what's interesting is there seems to be a lot of unknowns with this person. And it feels like this, from what I'm seeing, okay, it feels like to a certain extent that you may see this one as a kindred spirit. We're gonna pull a card. How does this person feel about Gemini? Yeah, they're defensive. I was kind of getting this where like, oh, I'm not too sure if things are gonna happen. And we're actually getting, what's this Wheel of Fortune? I kind of feel like you know that this person isn't... I feel like you end up seeing this person as not the one for you. It's almost like feeling that the person for you would be more open. I was hearing, you may kind of see this person as a stepping stone. And now let me clarify that a bit. Not in the way that like, you're going to be stepping on this person to move forward or anything like that. It just feels like when you are interacting with this person and learning from them in terms of like a human observation perspective, I feel like you know that there are things about them that you are going to continue looking for in a partner. But I feel like it's almost like there's things, hold on. I feel like part of them want something with you, but it's almost like they're not ready, or it's like they're not ready to move yet. Hold on for a sec here. It doesn't feel like you let it get you down or upset you or anything like that. It's just kind of like, okay, not that one. And I feel like the moment that you're kind of like, okay, not that one, I feel like this person feels rejected. I feel like they don't handle rejection well. I mean, a lot of people don't, right? But it's almost like they take forever to let anything happen or get anything to happen. And then when it passes them by, it's like it's this self-fulfilling prophecy that then they can look at it and be like, oh, love just doesn't work out for me. So from what I'm seeing here, Gemini, I feel like you're going to learn a few things about, or kind of refine what you're looking for. But from what I'm seeing, it doesn't really look like this ends up being somebody that you are with long term. And for those of you with your Venus in Gemini, oh dear. So we have the King of Wands reversed. I feel like as soon as the card came out, I was hearing like hot mess. I feel like you may see this person as somebody that is very crafty. They may be like kind of a playboy, playgirl, play person sort of energy. Hold on. I feel like you know that they want something genuine with you, but it's like they're kind of like the community, insert expletive here. Okay, I'm not going to say that on YouTube. And I feel like there is something that's really interesting about them to you. Hold on. But it feels like you kind of don't end up, it looks like you don't really end up wanting to even dip your toe in that pool, in that pond, body of water, whatever. Because the King of Wands, so upright, it's someone that maybe is a bit impulsive, but will fight for justice for other people. Reversed, it's usually someone that takes advantage of other people. And I feel like there are certain things that about this person that I feel like you wouldn't really be able to make peace with. You know what I mean? In terms of like some of the things that they do, or maybe, hold on. It's almost like they seem to take a certain level of delight in kind of tricking people. And it's like your energy or your kind of response to that is like, there's nothing wrong with, joking around and enjoying and kind of being playful with other people. But it feels like this person goes too far, and there's something about, it's like even when they don't go too far, it's something about how much they enjoy it that it's like, it's almost like you don't even want to go there. How does this person, what does Gemini need to know about this person? What's this person hiding? What does Gemini need to know? How does this person feel? What are they hiding? So, oh wow, we have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Knight of Wands. I kind of feel like this King of Wands got their heart broken. Part of me wants to say a long time ago. Maybe it wasn't that long ago, but I feel like they got their heart broken, and it kicked them into this kind of immature energy. And I feel like that's what you're seeing when you kind of get a little bit creeped out by how much they enjoy, kind of playing people. It's almost like whenever they play somebody, they feel like they're taking revenge on this person that broke their heart. And I feel like in that, you know, maybe you're able to have a certain level of understanding and compassion that they were hurt at one point in time, but, you know, you're not looking to be anybody's victim, not with the mind game stuff. And I'm hearing something about abandonment. Hold on. I'm almost hearing this person say, like, no one abandons me. Right? It just feels like there's all sorts of red flags all over the place. It feels like this is someone that you would kind of smile in their face. Not, and then talk behind their back. No, it's nothing like that. It feels like you may smile in their face, but, hold on. But it kind of feels like you want to get as far away from them as possible. And that's not advice. I feel like that's actually what you end up, you know, doing, wanting to do. So, with that said, Gemini, I think I'll leave it there. If this reading was helpful or it resonated, I mean, probably one in both. Anyway, I hope that it was helpful. If it did resonate, if it did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.